Today we have a topic types of the functional dependencies after understanding the functional dependency. So functional dependency is basically concept in which we have to see, and we have already discussed this point. When we have the two attributes, then how these two attributes can make a relationship, and the relationship will be depended by the dependency. So how we are maintaining the dependencies, that is to be identified by inside the our topic, that is known as the functional dependency. So as for the topics, we have a various types of the functional dependencies. So first one, we have the trivial functional dependency, non-trivial functional dependencies, multi-value dependencies, and transitive dependencies. These are the various kind of the dependencies we have to keep in mind while learning or while solving the problem. I'm speaking once again, trivial functional dependency, non-trivial functional dependency, multi-value dependencies, and transitive dependencies. Now, let me start from the first part, that is the trivial functional dependency. So now, you are able to see this slide without any doubt. So, are you able to see this slide? Tell me right now, you are able to see this slide? Trivial
Yes,
functional
sir.
dependency.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
good. Good. So triple functional dependency is saying to us the dependency of an attribute on the set of the attributes. So we have the set of the attributes in which we have the some attributes. So these are known as the triple functional dependency, and this triple functional dependency is also known as the single functional dependency or single value functional dependency sometimes. So in this case, what we have to do, it is better idea to understand this concept by an example. So now you can observe over here, there are two attributes recognized by the A and B. So A is determinant to B, or B is dependent on the A. So this will be known as the triple functional dependency. But the point we have to keep in mind, if B is a subset of A, then we will consider this will be identified by as a triple functional dependency. So you can observe over here, this A determinant to B is known as a triple functional dependency. Then we have to keep in mind B is a subset of the A. So if it is so, then we can say we are following the triple functional dependency. And the following triple dependencies can be acceptable, that is A determinant to A. A is an attribute and itself can depend on the itself attribute. So we can say A determinant to A, that would be also acceptable. B determinant to B itself can also be acceptable as a trivial functional dependency. So the point we have to keep in mind properly, my dear all the students over here, the dependency of an attribute on the set of the attributes are known as a trivial functional dependency if the set of the attributes includes that attribute. That is a key point you have to keep in mind properly. Let me explain this concept by an example, so I hope you can understand this concept simply. So I have the name attribute, I have the age attribute, and I have the some contact number like this one. So these are the three different attributes I can write over here. Can I say these are the attributes? Can I say these are the attributes? So I can put into a set. So I can say this is a set of the attribute A, name, age, and contact. These are the three different attributes. Just tell me, can I say?
Yes, sir.
Just okay. So if name is contact, so among of these three different attributes, if I'm choosing one attribute just like this one is, so if I'm putting like this one, so point you have to keep in mind while understanding trivial functional dependency, the set of the attribute include that attribute. So in the name is and contact, the set of the attributes we have, it contain the age attribute. So we can say this age is our attribute, is an attribute that determinant to the this set of the attributes. If the set of the attribute that includes the attribute, so that is the example. So this is a simple example. We are saying this is a trivial function dependency. So this is the simplest example we are looking at over here. Okay. Now is it clear to all right now the trivial functional dependency? or any doubt if you have, so please let me know right now.
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay, good, super, thank you. Now we have this example, one more example over here. So example, we have a table with the two columns. One is a student ID and student name. So the point you can observe over here, if student ID, now this is another example, student ID and student name we have over here in the left side. So student ID is a part of the student ID and student name set of the attribute. So this is what, this is the set of the attribute. So I can highlight this point once again over. So this would be your set of the attributes. So I'm highlighting this point. So if we are saying the set of the attribute, what we are following, if the set of the attribute contain the particular elements, that is a particular attribute, that is the student ID. So we can also, this is the trivial functional dependency. So trivial functional dependency is also possible like this way. So after observing so many times, just a basic definition. If the set of attribute contain or include the such attribute, so student ID and student name we can take. But in this case, I'm just highlighting. Just keep in mind the student ID which is coming on the left right side. If I'm putting the age, so age is not a part of the student ID and student name as set of the attribute. So this cannot be stand as a trivial functional dependency. This is the point you have to keep in mind. Okay, so this point is clear to all right now.
Yes, sir.
So after, see, so after this point, if we are expanding our functional dependency in normal way, so you can observe over student ID determinant to student ID. It is also possible. Yes, of course, it is acceptable. If we are following this set, it is also acceptable. Student name can depend on the determinant on the student name. So of course we can also have. So these are also recognized by as a trivial functional dependencies from the our this example as we have seen in the our above side. So this is a trivial functional dependency. Trivial functional dependency I am speaking once again. So please focus on the my words properly. If the set of the attributes include get attributes, then we can say it is a triple functional dependency. And if V is a subset of the A, so we can say. So in the name age context, so we can also include the other part, so that can also be part of this one. So vice versa, we can say triple functional dependency will be acceptable while using the such thing property. So please focus on the statement property. So trivial function dependency means we are following the concept in simple way. So student ID you can observe over here is a part of the our set of the attribute student ID, student name, and so and so. But student ID was not part of the such set of the attribute, then we can't say this is not a trivial. So reverse part we can see by the help of the non-trivial functional dependency. It's a very simple concept you can understand over here. If we are having a set of the attribute and we can observe over here if X is an attribute and Y is also an attribute, but this functional dependency does not hold or it is not hold the subset of the X. So this functional dependency is X determinant to Y, and there is no dependency or there is no subset we have. So Y is not a subset of the X, then we can say this is not a trivial functional dependency. So we can say it is a reverse process of the trivial functional dependency. So just like example, address, status, I'm just selecting over here. So address status, what is the address status? We can over here. And this is not a part of the set of the attribute that is the student name and state. So this can be sent for as a set of the attribute as a non-trivial function dependency. So this function dependency will be considered as a non-trivial. Let me explain this concept simple way. Here we have a C and D. These are the two different. Okay, or there are many attributes or there is only one attribute, so no issue. If this is if these two attributes are depend on the A and B, so you can observe over here in the left side what is the set of the attributes we have A and B, and in the right side we have the set of the attributes C comma D, or you can also have single attribute, doesn't mean. So you can observe over here if this is depend on this, but C and D or the combination of C and D is not part of the our AB set of the attribute. So this can be stand for as a non-trivial functional dependency. So this is an example. I can write another example, write a comma b, that are the attributes, and that is determinant to C. So again, this is depend on this one, but C is not part of the A and B set of the attributes. So what we have the this example over here. I'm explaining this thing with the help of some example over here. Employee ID determinant to employee name. So employee name is not a subset of the employee ID, of course. Employee address is not a subset of the employee ID. So this is the point. So these are the two examples which determine the non-trivial functional dependencies. So that is a point you have to keep in mind properly. From this perspective, I'm choosing a simple example over here. Just let me add some point over here, and then I will ask some question to all the people. Yes. So suppose we have a relation R. Okay, so please focus on this concept right now. We have a relation R. We have a A, B, C, D, and E. These are the our various attributes which are holding by the relation R. Now, first point, I'm just writing over here. Attribute which is determinant to A. Can you tell me what is the kind of this attribute and this functional dependency? Is it trivial or non-trivial?
So trivial.
Okay, good. Next example I'm writing here, C, A, and E. If I'm writing here C and E, so can you tell me what is the kind of this functional dependencies?
Trivial.
So why trivial? Can anyone tell me right now?
So C is subset of CA.
Yeah, good. So C is a subset of the our CAE. This is a good point. Next, I'm writing here the another example. If I'm choosing the D and B, these are two attribute I'm selecting, but here I'm here opting only the C attribute. So now, can you tell me what is the this functional dependency?
Non-trivial.
Non-trivial. Good. This is a good point. I'm choosing the A, B, and E, and here I'm choosing the only the D and A. So at a time, it is not a trivial functional dependency, or it is not a non-trivial functional dependency. So can you tell me what kind of the functional dependency we have over here? Because A is matching only, so this attribute also matching, but D is not matching. So at a time, this is time. What is the kind of a thing we have? Can you tell me right now if you have any idea? Just tell me right now.
So non-trivial.
Non-trivial. So why?
So because a whole set has to be the subset.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, yes, yes. You are on the right track. And please continue your statement. Please continue your statement.
So that the whole set DA has to be the subset of A, B, and E. That means every element of the DA has to be in A, B, and E.
Yeah, super. So this is a good point. So we have a set of the attribute A, B, E, but on the right side we have the D and A or AD. So this is the these are the two attributes. Both should be the part of the our set of the attribute which are mentioned on the left side. That's why we have over here non-trivial, because only the one attribute is matching, but other attributes are not matching. So at a time this is considered into the set of the attributes. Now I'm moving to the definition part. Just that's why X and Y, these are the two attributes, and X can be a set of the attribute and Y can also be a set of the attribute. So do not think about this is X and Y, we are talking about a single attribute. It can have a set of the attributes. And if it is hold the true where Y is not a subset, so the single attribute or the set of the attribute we are having on the right side or left side, but keep in mind that should be the part. So in the right side the attribute what we are choosing or we are opting, that should be the part of the left side attribute set of the attributes. That is a good point. So this could be considered as a non-trivial if we are matching this kind of the criteria, and that is the point. So this is happening in our real life situation when we have to deal with the functional dependency. So here we have the non-trivial, but sometimes this is also considered as a partial dependency, partial functional dependency. So when you have to study the books or when you try to study some other thing, so you will see, so we have the partial. Yes, of course, we can say this is non-trivial, but this can be considered also inside the partial functional dependencies. So this is the point you have to keep in mind. Okay, so all these two kind of the functional dependencies are clear to all right now. Non-trivial and trivial, or any doubt so far?
No, sir, no doubt.
Okay, good. So after this point, we have a simple statement and we have to keep in mind completely non-trivial function dependency is saying to us if a function dependency x determinant to y holds true where x intersection y is null, then this dependency is said to be the completely non-trivial functional dependency. And this is to be done while maintaining the your record. So this can be true where x intersection y is null. So if you try to apply the some operation and after applying the operation we are finding that x intersection, if applying the intersection operation, then if x intersection y is null we are getting, then we can say we have the completely non-trivial function dependency. So in the fourth example, what we are getting the partial non-trivial function dependency. So that is the point you have to keep in mind. There's a little bit difference we have to keep in mind while understanding the functional dependencies. And when you try to study the this topic from the any other places, then you will found the partial functional dependency, partial non-trivial functional dependency. So this is a term which is coming from the that part only. So that's why I'm put it over here, the completely non-trivial function dependency. So this is a definition. Okay, so this is a definition we have to keep in mind while implementing or learning the functional dependencies properly. After this point, we have a third type of the functional dependency that is known as the multi-valued functional dependency, or it is also known as the multi-valued dependencies. I am speaking this definition over here from the slide. A multi-valued dependencies occurs when there are more than one independent multi-valued attribute is false in a table. Attributes in a table. So the point you have to keep in mind, I am speaking once again, multi-value dependency occurs where there are more than one independent. It means we are talking about the more than one independent multi-valued attributes in a table. Next point. A multi-value dependency is full constraint between two set of the attribute in a relation. In contrast to the functional dependencies, the multi-value dependency requires that certain tuples be present in a relation. Let us understand the thing with the help of the example. Now, so in this kind of a relation, how we can identify the multi-value dependencies. So in this case, you are able to understand, I'm speaking here, the simple example, consider a bike manufacturing company, which produce the two colors, black and white. Okay, so we are trying to purchase a bike. So we have the options, which color of bike we should have, black and red. So in this case, we have a bike model and manufacturing year and color. So function dependency I'm speaking over here, that is the concept which is required to use a common sense and logic idea to implement the function dependency properly. So if we have a bike model and manufacturing year and color. So in this case, two columns are set to be the multi-value dependencies on the bike model. If bike model we have over here, manufacturing we have over here, and year we have. So manufacturing year will depend on the bike model. Can we say manufacturing year will be depend on the bike model? In which year the particular model was manufactured? Say, am I right or not? Just tell me. Manufacturing year is an attribute that could be is an attribute that will be depend on the this attribute that is a bike model. So we can say this is the dependency we have. Is it true? Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, and in a bike, when trying to purchase any vehicle, then definitely the which kind of the model we have and what are the various models, various colors are offering by the such model. So, if trying to purchase a car or try to purchase any vehicle, then I have the some chance to have the various different kind of the color. And some models are unique models, so company is not manufacturing the different colors based vehicle. So at the time, the company is offering the one color. So we have the two options right now, red and black. So we will talking about the red and black only. So this color is also depend on the this color can also be depend on the bike model. That is the point. So we will have see the point. This bike color can also be depend on the bike model. So this can be also treated as a one more dependency. Now, if I'm talking about the my definition part, so you can observe over here. What is the definition is saying to us? Multi-value dependency occurs where there are more than one independent multi-valued attributes we have in a table. So in this case, manufacturing year and colors both are the attributes which are depend on the bike model. And that is what that we are having the multi-value because bike model is determinant to the two different attributes from the our relation or table. So color and manufacturing are the attributes which are determined which are dependent on the bike model. So that is a point you have to keep in mind. While manufacturing and year both are the two attributes which are not dependent on each other. So color and manufacturing are the two attributes which are not dependent. So these are independent from each other, and these independent attributes are depend on the an attribute. So we can say the bike model is just representing by the two independent attributes. One is manufacturing year and color, and that is the point we have to keep in mind properly. Now, let us move to the its definition part once again over here. So the multi-valued dependency is a full constraint between the two set of the attributes in a relation. In contrast to the functional dependency, the multi-value dependency required that certain tuples be present in a relation. So that is the point you have to keep in mind. So while making the relationship, we have to keep in mind things properly. So any doubt in this example, in simple example I have taken over here. If you have, so please let me know right now. Just tell me right now. Any doubt if you have?
No, sir.
So you can observe over here, if talking about the bike model B2012, okay, so B 2012. So in this we have a manufacturing year 2008 and color we have the red. In the same year we are using the manufacturing year 2008 and we are using the color that is black. So you can observe over here the bike model. We have the B2012. The manufacturing year we have the same 2008, but we have the two different colors that is the red and black. So both are independent each other. So if I'm choosing the red color, I'm choosing the black color. Then you can observe over here the year is the same for manufacturing and model is also same, but you can see by the this dependency or by this data value which are represent over here that defines our information as a uniquely. So multi-value dependency is saying to us the attributes we have, those attributes must be independent from each other first point, and now these are the attributes which are opted by us if these are dependent on the our one another attribute, so we have the multi-valued dependencies. So multi-valued functional dependency will occur when we have the dependency from the two more than two independent attributes. So this is a simple definition we have to keep in mind while understanding the discussion. So this was our third functional dependency type, that is a multi-valued functional dependency. Now, next we have a transitivity dependency. So this transitory dependency is again we can say it is more important because it follows the our important rules as we have discussed yesterday. Transitive rules. In the transitive rule, there's no need to define more and more over here. So we have to keep in mind the thing properly. What it's saying to us, a transitory dependency is said to be transitory dependency if it is indirectly formed by the two functional dependencies. So when we have the x determinant to z is a transitive dependency if the following three conditions are or three dependencies are held by the our this point. So x determinant to y. X determinant to y, this is the first definition, first FD we have. Next, by does not x, so reverse process will not be acceptable. Okay, and second we have the third one we have the y determinant to z. So after applying all these three kind of the functional dependency, we can observe over here x determinant to z. So this is what actually this is known as the functional dependencies. This is known as the functional dependencies of the transitive functional dependencies. All these kind of the functional dependencies will require to understand the question in simple way. So before that, understanding the any numerical on the functional dependencies, we will try to focus on the our concept that is the some kind of step by step. So we need to understand what kind of the dependencies we are having inside our numerical. So that is simple type. So this is the flavor of the various kind of the functional dependency is saying to us. You can have the single functional dependency that is also known as trivial. You can also have the non-trivial, so in which the information is not matching or subset. The particular attribute is not a part of a set of the attributes. Next, we have the multi-valued, and next we have the transitive dependency. So a transitive dependency can only occur in the relation of three of the of the more two attributes. This dependency helps us normalizing the database in 3NF. So when we try to study the third normal form, that I'm speaking over here, when we try to study the third normal form, this is the one kind of the normal form of the our database. So this will help at that moment. So don't worry with help of the some numerical. We will see this concept at that moment. So we need to understand where a transitive dependency will be applicable. That is a big question we have to keep in mind properly. Okay, so now this is the transitive dependency. Let us understand this kind of dependency with help of the simple one example. We have three different attributes, that is the book, author, and author is. Okay, so here I have put it the some rough data. So book XYZ MNO MPC, and author is VSK, RAM, PQ, and so on. So and A37, 32, 35. I have taken random data only. You can observe over here, author is depend on the book. Author is depend on the book means who is writing the book actually. Who's writing the book or who is authoring the book. So author name will be depend on the book. So what is the title of the book? So that is also mentioned. So everyone will like to see the book by the title, but after that, after understanding the or after seeing the title, we will like to see the author name. What is the author name? So book title will be or book name will be recognized by the author's name. So author is totally depend on the book title, or we can say this is the point. But reverse part is not acceptable over here. So we can say the author or the book is not depend on the author, or we can say author does not determine the books. That is a cross I have mentioned over here. Next, author is depend on the author. So this is an attribute is depend on the author. So in this case, we can say indirectly the author is depend on the book. So this is what actually this is known as a transitive dependency. So book title is determinant to the author age, or we can say author age is depend on the book title. So we have this kind of the dependency that is recognized by the transitive dependency, and it should hold that makes sense because if we know the book name, then we can also know the author age. So this is summarizing the information if we know the book's name. Okay, this is XYZ book. So we can say okay, author age will be the 37. We are seeing book name is ABC, so the author age will be 35. So this is to be done by the dependency point. That is an important point we have to keep in mind. So this is the transitive dependency we have seen over here. So before moving to the another example, just let me ask here. These are the four different kind of the dependencies we have seen over here. If you have any doubts so far, so please let me know right now. Yes, tell me. If you have any doubt so far, please let me know right now.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay, good. So I'm just taking the or moving to the next slide. Then I will ask some question to the students. So here we have a relation. Are you able to see this relation? I'm giving the name of this relation as a student. Just let me know. Are you able to see this relation? Student. Okay. Okay. So can anyone tell me student ID is determinant to the student name? So what is this actually? Student ID is determinant to the student. So what is this? This is a triple FD or non triple FD? Just let me know right now. Please tell me. If I'm writing student ID determinant to student name. So what is this? Is it trivial or not trivial?
Non-trivial, sir.
Okay, good. If I'm writing the student ID in short way, student ID short way I'm writing over here and as name, then we can say, and I'm writing here student ID. So this is what? This is trivial or non-trivial?
Trivial.
Trivial, good, good, good. If I'm adding the one more column over here for understanding purpose, so if I'm adding the one more column or attributes that mark, I'm giving there some marks like the 20, okay, 18, and suppose 25, something like this one. So if I'm writing here student ID, okay, determinant to student name, that is the first case we have to keep in mind. This is a third example I'm writing over here. Student ID determinant to the student name. That is the point you have to keep in mind. So we can say this is the by default we have the trivial functional dependency. This is the but we are trying to understand this thing by the transitive functional dependency. We have this one. So student name is determined depend on the student ID, but the reverse process is not possible. It means student name is this is not possible. Okay, this is the point you have to keep in mind. And student name is depend on the student ID. And if it is so, for understanding purpose, we are seeing this example. Student name is determinant to the marks. So after understanding this point, now you are able to understand if you're trying to use this point. So with the help of the transitive dependencies, functional dependencies, we can see student ID determinant to marks. So marks is depend on the or marks are the depend on the student ID. That is a point we can see through the our transitive dependencies. Okay, so this is the point we have to keep in mind properly. Okay, so now it is clear to all right now. The fundamental part is clear to all right now. Anyone who need to ask questions so far?
Sir, please explain this once again.
Okay. Student ID and student name. I'm writing student ID, comma student name. Okay. I'm writing here once again over here. Okay, I'm writing student ID, comma student name. is determinant to student name. So now can you tell me, this is the first point. From this point we are seeing student ID comma student name I'm taking and the determinant to the student name. Now can you tell me here, can you tell me, is it a trivial functional dependency or non-trivial or transitive or other kind of thing? Now can you tell me?
Sir, trivial.
Trivial. Why? Because student name is a part of the, or student name is a part of the student, a name comma student ID attribute. Good. Next example I am writing over here. If I'm writing simple example, student ID, okay, it's a choice if you want to put all this thing inside the this curly braces. It's a choice. So we can use. Now, can you tell me what is the kind of the what is the kind of the this thing we have?
Sir, non-trivial.
Why? Because student name is not a part of the this subset. This is a set. So that is the point we have to keep in mind. Yes, good. Okay, now clear? Now I'm just writing another example over here. Suppose I'm adding one more thing over here, that is. Okay, now I'm changing the question for the my different question. Like, so Priya belong to the 28th and Rice belong to the 21th and Ganga belong to the 25 days. This is only simple example we are taking. That example is saying to us, if the student ID determinant to the student name, it means student name is depend on their ID. So student name we can take. But reverse process is not acceptable over here. That is the first one. Next point we can say, if is student name determinant to student name is determinant to age, it means age is depend on the student name. So we can see over here. So by applying all these two functional dependencies, we can say student ID is determinant to age, it means age is depend on the student ID. So this is an example. This example is belong to the transitive functional dependencies. In the case of the multi-valued functional dependencies, you have to understand if it is not dependent. So student name and age both are independent or not? No. So from the our logic or the common sense, we can easily identify that student name and age are little bit dependent on each other. That is the point we have to keep in mind. So if it is acceptable, this point, this is not a independent, so we can apply the multi-value dependency. That is the key terms we have to keep in. But in our example, car or the bike, manufacturing year and color are independent from each other. So that is the point. But from this example, student name and age are dependent on each other. So that's the reason we can't take it. But if you assume that student name and age are not dependent on each other, then we can take it. So student name and age and independent, not cannot independent, can depend. Course we can say, faculty we can say. So we have to identify the information here properly while applying the functional dependency. So what is the functional dependency you are using at that moment? That is a required question. But this is a case we have to understand what is the functional dependency we are following. In the case of the while solving the numerical, we are not required to understand what kind of functional dependency we are following. But we have to understand it is a kind of the such kind of the functional dependency we have right now. That was a mind. But we will use only the some rules, or those are belong to the just reflexive augmentation transitive to solve our problem. So that is an important point we have to keep in mind. But this is a fundamental point we have to keep in mind properly. What is the flavor we are having right now? Okay, so this is clear to all right now. Is it clear to all right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, this is a summary of over here. I put it over here, so you can go through this part right now. Here we have just one name, ID, and marks. Okay, but I have explained this thing by the help of the age. Okay, so you can utilize this point right now. Video, this marks I have already explained. No issue. So consider the relation student information. Okay, so if you remember our example, we have discussed the normalization process. We have seen the some attributes names are name, course, telephone number, where we have the phone number, major subjects, the professor, and grade. So find the various functional dependencies in the relation which are satisfied. This kind of a question we have to keep in mind. Okay, so here we have some data, and from this pattern we have to identify the functional dependencies in a relation which are satisfied. Let us understand this concept properly. But before that, if you have any doubts, so please you can ask me right now. Okay, so anyone who have any doubt?
So multi-valued, sir.
No, multi-valued, but that is a point not I'm saying over here. I'm saying over here, you need to find the functional dependencies that satisfy the above relation. So functional dependency means what are the attributes we have. So from the attribute perspective, we have to determine. So see the some data and tell me right now. I'm not asking about the type of the functional dependency. Understand the question. I'm asking find the various functional dependencies. Various functional dependencies means you have to determine the dependencies, not a type. Type is saying to us which is the functional dependency we are calling. But here you have to determine the dependency. Determination means the relationship between the two or more than two attributes. That was my point.
So not in this question, sir. I have a doubt in multi-valued, that concept.
Okay, so what is the problem? Okay, you have doubt in the multi-value. So multi-value, okay, so I'm just moving back to the multi-value. Right. This one example. Now, are you able to see this example?
Yes, sir.
So, what is this example is saying to us? This example is saying to us over here, the manufacturing year and color, these are the two attributes. Both are independent each other. If I'm, see, don't think about the right now the bike model. Think about only the manufacturing year and color. So we have the year information and we have the color information. Our color information is, are these red and black are depend on the color year? No, so that's a common sense you have to use while solving the problem and what kind of thing you are using. So manufacturing year and color in our bike relation, this is not a constraint we have to apply. So this is saying to us these are the two attributes which are independent to each other. But from this perspective, if we have the bike model, which is a model of bike name can also take off, of course. So manufacturing year. So in which year the particular bike model was manufactured by the company, or what is the name of the bike? Just like the I'm speaking over here, the Activa. So Activa 4G we have and Activa 5G now we have. So in the coming years or maybe the past years, we have seen the Activa was manufactured by the company. So 4G was manufactured in such year to such year, and these are the few colors which is used by the our Activa 4G. Now we have the Activa 5G and we have the limited color. We have seen this situation right now. If you have visited any showroom, okay, so then salesman will tell you that we have only the four different colors. The company is just producing, manufacturing the Activa 5G only in these colors. So colors is basically can depend on the bike model. So understand my words. Colors are depend on the bike model. That is the point. Now manufacturing year, in which year this Activa 5G was manufactured? In which year Activa 4G was manufactured? So that is the point you have to keep in mind. But if you're talking about the Activa 5G 4G, but keeping just keep, keep keep the bike model aside, and then tell me right now, am I speaking to you in the 2020 or 2021? These are the few colors which is following by the our Activa. So if you're not able to identify some information which are related to the Activa model, then how you can say these two parameters or these two attributes, manufacturing years and color, are dependent on each other? No. So these two attributes are independent from each other. So multi-valued attribute is saying to us we have to choose the more than one independent attribute, and if these independent attributes are depend on the our one attribute, then we can say the bike model or the Activa 5G 4G model we are opting on here, that is determinant to the two other more than two other parameters or two other attributes. Those are the manufacturing years and color, and that is the point. So multi-valued attribute is saying to us, yes, I'm just speaking once again. Multi-valued dependency will be applicable when more than one independent multi-valued attributes in a table we have. So in the case of the student name, age, and faculty and course, so you have to understand this point. Here, if I'm just not focusing on the other attributes, so student name and course. So definitely the course which is also associated with the student name, that is the dependency can is independency can be. So in, these two things are not independent. Student age and name also not independent, dependent. Internally we have some dependent. So from the relation we have to identify what are the attributes which are independent, and then we have to apply the multi-valued and is any attribute just associated with the such independent attributes or not. So at that time we have the multi-value dependency. So multi-value dependency will be applicable where we have to study the multi-valued normal form. If you remember my words. So these dependency will be applicable while studying the various kind of the normal form. So multi-value dependency will be applicable where we have the where we will study the multi-valued normal form. That is the fourth normal form. And third normal form, as I told you, transitive dependency will be there. So multi-valued dependencies we can study inside the four normal form. Okay, so or we can say multi-valued normal form. This is the point. So these dependencies will be applicable while studying the various kind of normal form. So multi-valued normal form. Now clear? Okay, this definition is clear to right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So after understanding this point, now I'm coming back to my question right now. The consider the relations student information. So here we are not talking about the identifying the what kind of the relationship we are having. We have to just find the dependencies only. So are the course and dependent name are also having the relationship? So let us understand. Telephone only. We are not required to identify the type of the dependencies. That was a matter. So can anyone tell me step by step if you have any idea? Just please after understanding all this. Can anyone tell me right now? Course and name can be depend on each other. Course and name can be depend on each other. Just tell me right now.
No, sir.
Yes, why? Can you tell me? So justification should be there because in the examination you have to justify if we are not having any relationship between these two tables in terms of the functional dependency manner. So over here you can see the example, but you have to write a description or you have to justify the something by your own words. That was my point. Can you tell me? Yeah, name and telephone number can be dependent. So telephone number can be depend on the name. Can you tell me name and telephone number can be depend on each other? Telephone, see, name codes are not depend on the name. So first I can remove. Yes. See yes or no. So we can understand the thing properly. Codes cannot be depend on the name. Say yes or no.
No, sir.
Okay, telephone number can be depend on the name.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. This point is also acceptable. Method or the subjects can depend on the name.
No, sir.
Why? Because as a student, you have been opted these courses, so that belongs to you only. So Jyoti is a name of the name of the student who have selected the math. Jyoti also selected the math over here, but she also belong to the same contact number we can see. But here she also opted the history and math as well. This is the course. Inside the course, what she is studying, that is the point we have the major. So here we can say the course cannot be depend on the name. This is a true factor, but telephone number can be depend on the name. Of course, we can see, and the major is the subject that can also be depend on the name as well. That is the point. Now, is it true? Tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When talking about the other point over here, grade can be depend on the grade can be depend on the this professor or depend on the students. Tell me right now, professor or depend on the student name.
No, sir.
No, but reverse process can be acceptable. Okay, this cannot be explained. So grade is basically our attribute that can also depend on the name. Can you tell me right now? It is also depend on the name. Tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
How? Suppose your
Yes.
name is your name. Yes, you have a doubt right now.
No, I'm saying that it will not depend.
It is not dependent because Yoti, she is following the course history and she got the A grade, but while she is following the math course, she got the B grade. So few things we have to determine by our data. That was my point. Now because is the name of the student who got the B grade while opting the this course. Okay, and the major is chemistry. And while he was selected or elected this political science course inside the chemistry major, and his grade is still in the progress. So grade will not be depend on the name only. As you will see the duplicacy will be there. So name and course along with this point we can say this can be identified by as a grade. So functional dependency you have to identify which are satisfying to the relations only. Okay, and professor and grade can be the combination to determine the other thing just scores and professor name. So you can make any number of the FDs, but that satisfy the minimum criteria only, nothing else. So I'm sharing the right now solution over here. See, so the following functional dependencies are satisfying the above relation as you have seen. So name student telephone number will be depend on the name. Of course, we can say major are the subjects. So what are the subjects? This major means we are talking about the your spellation. So your spellation depend on the student. So student name can be duplicated. Just suppose X by the student name. So he can this name students can belong to the cyber security, and this name also can student belong to the this gaming. So name cannot be the part, but what is subject which is opted by the student? So we can see over here that can be so following by the other part. Grade is important point. Grade is can be generated by the two important attributes. Those are the name and course. It's an option, but we can write the instead. So we can say now we are writing properly. So you can also require to use the curly braces to satisfy the functional definitions terms properly. Okay, use please key terms you have to keep in mind. But it's an option, but if you want to use, then you can use it. Another point I have marked over here, see reason is clear. Professor are depend on the course. So in a university, we are following such of the course. So in this semester, I am unable to share the applied machine learning, or I am unable to offer the applied machine learning course. Why? Because this is not a part of this semester as well, interim as well, regular semester. So how I can offer? So I'm also depend on the course. So what the university are trying to offer with this course, then I'm able to choose only the limited number of the courses because some courses are not offering in this semester. That's the reason. So the present instance of the table does indicate this FDP as well as the professor course FD. So one needs more data to find the which two actually hold. So that is a point we have to keep in mind. So that is the reason. So functional dependencies you have to identify by your common sense and your idea trick. And it makes your it requires some little practice to understand the thing. Okay, so that's why we have this point. The functional
Yes.
dependency. Yes, right.
Sir, if such questions we get in exam, so how we will
justify like what statements we have to write like.
Yes, of course. So when you're writing the functional dependencies, so this is a X attribute or this is a Y attribute. So we are making the functional dependencies between these two attributes. Then, my dear, at the bottom side, or you have to write, okay, sir, we are using this FD. This is the reason why we are making the functional dependencies. Now, at the time, you have to use your logic. Please focus on the my words. You have to tell me with your satisfaction words. So this is the reason we are making the functional dependencies between these two attributes or between the set of the attributes. That was my point. Okay, so if the course and professor I'm putting, so this statement is saying to us, is it possible or not? Yeah, of course it is possible. So in your words, you have to write in the examination as well, and as well as while solving any question which is pulling by the functional dependency. So if I'm sharing any question in the examination, 10 marks, then these four statements are sufficient. So you will say, sir, you will give me 2 marks. Why? You didn't explain me. You are required to explain all the statement, all the function dependencies, why you are making the dependencies between these two parts. That was a main. Okay. And now we have to see feasibility. Feasibility should be there. Now see, telephone number and measures can have the functional dependencies. So one student is trying to write measure measures can be depend on the student telephone numbers. At the time, you need to tell me, is it possible? Feasibility is possible. Is there a feasibility of thing and me and thing and tell me majors or the courses whatever opted is or telephone relation a telephone we have attribute. These two attributes can make the relations. No. So we have to think. We have to use some idea. Is it possible or not? So when the possibility we have, so we have to use only the possibilities. And if we are putting the possibilities or by the set of the attributes, single attributes, at the time you have to tell me by the writing in the writing way in your words only. That is the reason. Now clear this point? And this is the point. Telephone number and course can we have the relationship between the two? These two attributes can have the relationship by applying the dependencies, functional dependencies. No, there will be no sense. Okay, so when there we have no sense, so we can't meet the dependency. That was the point. Now clear? My words are clear to all right now? Or any doubt so far? Just tell me right now. This is a clear to all right now? Telephone and grade can't have. See, telephone and grade can't have. The telephone and measure can't have. There will be no sense. Okay? Now clear? Just tell me right now.
Yes.
So, so grade and telephone number can satisfy the dependencies? No. So we will not allowed to take over here. That is the reason. Suppose student is trying to take, then he or she has to write why you are taking this dependency. That is it. So the find the various functional dependencies means we are talking about not the type of the functional dependency, we are talking about the dependencies between the attributes. Okay, that was okay. This solution is clear to all right now.
Yes.
Okay. For your betterment, I can write over here.
So can you give one more example?
Yes, I have some more example, but that is a type of the types of the functional dependencies. But in the next class, we will have see the example along with the its closure. Okay, no problem. We will have the example. Right now, I don't have any example which are related to this kind of thing, but we have the different kind of example. We will see definitely. So right today we will seeing the what is the type of the functional dependency. So from this perspective, we're trying to find something. Telephone number. I was one of my points. The telephone number and major. So simple example. Just for the simple example, telephone number are determinant on the major. It means major is the subject's specialization which can be dependent on the telephone number, and that cannot be possible. There will be no sense. Okay. I can write over here for betterment. No sense. No sense. There is no sense. Okay. And if talking about the other part like telephone number and grade. Okay. So I can write like this one. Grade determinant to grade determinant to telephone. So student is trying to write this thing. So he or she has to understand is it feasible or not. It's not possible. Again, not feasible. There's no feasibility between these two attributes. Okay, so that is a so there is no feasibility. So that is the points people are required to understand. Okay, so this is a functional dependency, and there is no specific algorithms are exist as I told you yesterday. So let us explore the one more example about the types of the functional dependency. So this is the point. Let us understand the its functional dependencies types in detailed manner. So here we have example. So in this case, now you are able to see the single valued functional dependencies. The single valued functional dependencies can also be recognized by the trivial functional dependencies. Okay, so please focus on this one. The primary key we have the roll number, and student name we have, student address we have. So roll number and student name. So student name or roll number we are choosing over here. So student name is depend on the roll number. Okay, so this is what under come into the single valued attribute. This is also under come into the single valued attribute. It means student name is depend on the roll number, and this is non-trivial or trivial.
Non-trivial.
This is non-trivial. Yeah, this is non-trivial. Yeah, good. This is non-trivial, but in the single value function dependency, we are opting the single value. We are not using the set of the attributes. That was my point. So in the single valued, what we are doing only the single valued means you can write over here single attributes. Okay, I can write over here single or one attribute will be there. One attribute. This is a good point. One attribute. One attribute will be both sides. Okay. Now, is it clear to all right now? Yes, tell me. Anything you need to ask? Next, we have the full functional dependencies. So let us understand this point right now. A functional dependency P and Q is full functional dependencies. If removal of any attribute A from the P means dependency does not hold any more. So from this relation, you will be able to see the roll number we have, subject name we have, and paper hours we have. So roll number and name and subject name. So we have this point. And paper hours we have. So paper hour is totally depend on the roll number of the student and student name, subject name. So since roll number or paper hour we have, so neither this relationship cannot withstand, and subject name and paper hour cannot be hold. This subject name and papers are cannot hold the information. So full functional dependency saying to us, we have the different kind of the functional dependency over here. So see, why I'm telling to here, because if you try to understand the concept from the other sources, then you will say, sir, you didn't tell us about the partial functional dependency, but it was mentioned. So instead of the trivial, non-trivial, multi-valued or transitive, we have the single valued, fully functional and partial. That is the point. So as that's why we are looking the some other kind of the functional dependencies over here. So here we are. So from these relations, we are able to see is the fully functional dependencies. If we're trying to remove any attributes, it means the dependency does not hold anymore. That is it. So if I try to remove the roll number or subject name, so you can able to see it. Neither the roll number or paper are or nor the subject name and paper are hold. That is it. So this is a full functional dependencies. In the dependency is the P and Q. So P means our left side set of the attribute could be, and Q means right side the set of the attribute could be. So that is a point we have to keep in mind. So this is the good point. Yes, of course, this can be considered into the our non-trivial functional dependency. So we are not talking about the non-trivial or trivial. We are talking about the full functional dependency. Yes, that is under case inside the non-trivial. So that is the point we have to keep in mind. So this is another example. Yes, when you see all these things, then you will be able to understand yes what is happening over here. Now clear? This picture is clear to all right now. This picture single valued functional dependency is clear, and now we have seen this picture right now. The fully functional dependencies. The roll number, the subject name belong to the student has to see the paper R. And now this is happening to the while seeing the question paper in the midterm or mini examination. So roll number, subject name that is associated with you, roll number, your name. Of course, but your name is not acceptable over here. We will map your subject name to your roll number, of course, with the class ID as well. And we have to see paper R is 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. But in the online situation, we have only the 90 minutes. So that is it. Of course, this is a good one. So this functional dependency, fully functional dependency is clear to all right now? Or anything, any need to ask right now? Yes, tell me any doubt. Yes, tell me any doubt if you have right now.
No, sir.
Okay.
Sir, in this case,
Yes.
from the relation we can see that subject name and paper R is not holding, because for DBMS we have two values of paper R's, right?
Yeah.
But for roll number 011 there is only one value of paper R, that is 3. So why we are saying that it's not holding?
Yeah, sir. See, full functional dependency. Actually, I was waiting for this question. See, this roll number, the student belong to the, maybe he has opted the DMS course that belong to the LTP course, but roll number 025, the student has opted the course DMS that belong to the LT only. So that's why we have the different hours of the same subject name over here. So the point we have to keep in mind when talking about the full functional dependency, the roll number and subject name. So roll number and subject name can depend, but roll number and paper art we have, so that cannot be dependency. So we are not following the dependency here. So because this student roll number, the paper are 3, 1, 2. So how we can make the relationship? That is the point. And if talking of, see, that is not associated inside between the subject name. But individually we're talking about the roll number and paper are both are not making the any kind of the functional dependencies. That is the first point. Second point, the subject name and paper are we have. So in the subject name we have the DMS and DMS this one. So you can understand the subject name we have the in the duplicate. So the subject name is coming 2 times, but here we have the 3 and so here we are not able to understand which this subject name we are mapping with the paper art to whom to assign. That is the reason this relationship or this dependency cannot be held over here. So fully functional dependency will be applicable where if you try to remove any attribute, suppose I am removing the paper art, so at least the relationship between the roll number and subject name will be there. Roll number and subject name will be there. Keep in mind my words. Roll number and subject name will be there. Okay, that was my point. So if I'm removing the subject name as well, then roll number and papers are can be stacked. Now you can see if I'm removing the subject name, then roll number and subject name, will be there. Okay. If I'm removing the paper R, then roll number and subject name will be there. So that's the point we have to keep in mind. So after removing any attributes from the R relation from the P means on the left side what we are choosing, then dependency does not hold anymore. That's the point. If it is holding, so it means we are dependent on that part. So full function dependency means if you are losing any attributes on the P from the P or the set of the attributes which are using, then definitely we can say it is a fully functional dependency. So we are not losing any information. So you can see roll number, subject name I can take. So subject from the our P side or because the left side I'm removing any attribute, then it does not hold anymore. So because at a time what we have only the simple relationship. That does not mean just like example roll number and student name I'm taking. So This is a P side. If I'm using the only the name over here, so if I'm removing the name over here, if I'm removing the name over here, then you have to keep in mind name will also be removed here. So this functional dependency doesn't mean. It means the relationship between these two things cannot be had. If I'm removing the roll number over here, then name. So this is known as a blank or empty functional dependencies, and that is also considered trivial. If you remember the my words, A determinant to A and B determinant to B. This is trivial as a functional dependency we have, but the detail we cannot have. So there will be no only one attribute. So that is the reason fully functional dependency is saying to us if you are removing any attribute from the left side or from the set of the attribute that in the P. So we will say it does not hold any more. That is the reason. So, but keep in mind the relationship what we have to use. So you can observe over here the roll number of the paper are there will be relationship or not. There will be no relationship between the paper arts, not the paper code, paper art. So as a student, you belong to the because you are bound by the paper arts. You can feature the paper by the 2 hours instead of the 1 hour or 3 hours. So the time we are giving to you, you can complete the paper within the 20 minutes rather than the 90 minutes. So dependency will not be stand over here. Next, subject name and paper art. So subject name is saying to us we are using the subject name, but in this case, you can observe over here the database management system course we have over here, and paper art we have the 3 and 2. So from this perspective, we are unable to identify this course we are using DMS to whom to assign. The roll number is not mapped inside between the these two things, subject name and paper art. This is the reason we have the fully functional dependency. The fully functional dependency is saying towards the dependency fully functionize on the other attribute. If you are removing something, then it will not continue, or the dependency cannot be more. That is the reason. Now, is it clear to right now? Yes, Tanvi, it is clear. Just like a simple example, the student or a faculty. So faculties and student and course. These are the three different attributes information I'm taking for the design purpose. If you're removing the course, then what happened? There will be a relationship between you and me. Just simple thing and tell me right now. If we are making the relationship between the student course and faculty, but I'm just removing the one attribute that is the course code, then will we have a relationship? No, that is the point. So the student faculty will be depend on the one attribute that is the point we have to keep in mind, and that is coming inside the our P side. So student course, student course. Okay, so we have the faculty and course. Suppose this one example I'm taking. So if I'm removing the course one attribute, then there will be relationship between the student faculty. No, that was my point. So this is one of the fully functional dependency. Now clear?
Yes.
Okay. So partially functional dependency, as I told you while studying the our important term, if you remember the my words, trivial or multi-valued, we have discussed. So from this perspective, you will able to see that is the roll number and subject name. So student name is not student name. Here we have a student name is not a full functional dependency. So since roll number and student name can also hold, so this can be student name and roll number will also require because student name is also required to keep the detail of the roll number because just we have the lots of the data over here. All these four students belong to their own individual roll numbers and they have to determine their roll number. So dependency will be done by the student name and roll number. That is a good thing. But what is the roll number or subject name which is opting by the students? That is not the fully functional dependency. Why? Why? Because if I'm removing the roll number, then on the basis of subject name and student name, can we make the dependency? No, that is the reason. So it can be identified by as a partial or functional dependency. So a functional dependency is in which one or more non-key attributes are functionally depending on a part of the primary key. That is the point. So when we have the one or more key attributes, subject name and student name can be the non-key attributes, are functionally dependent on the part of the primary key. So that is called inside the partial functional dependency. So this simple example we have over here. The roll number, student name, subject name we have. Instead of the roll number and subject name, if I'm writing the roll number comma subject name, then subject name I'm writing on the right hand side, then I can say it can have the functional dependency. That is it. Okay, this is the partial functional dependency we can have. But let me tell you all the today that these kind of the functional dependency just for sake of the knowledge we have to understand. But while implementing, while solving the problem from the function dependencies, we have to use some various kind of the symbols or various kind of the uh, rules. Those rules are identified by the transitivity, augmentation, reflexive. We have to apply, and at a time we have to also identify the axiom. Okay, this is only nothing else. But these kind of the function dependencies, partial, full, trivial, non-trivial, multi-valued. Okay, and transitive. These are the functional dependencies will be applicable to understand the real problem based on the normalization. So when the based on normalization we try to solve the problem, then we will see yes here we are applying the this kind of the functional dependencies. And for solving the numerical, we will use the transitivity rules. We have to use the augmentation rules and we have to use the reflexive and other rules and find the axioms as well. That is a route for implementing or solving the problem. But here, what is the nature of the function dependencies we have to use inside the normal form? That is the point. So that's why we have studied the type of the function dependencies. Okay. So is it clear to all right now? Or anyone who need to ask any question right now? So please you can ask.